Welcome to Sudden Strike 4, and thanks for joining us. Today we are going to learn how to select troops quickly. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this, so we're going to take a look at each different one. The easiest and the quickest way to select troops, of course, is to take your controller, hold down the X button. Okay, now there's the left analog stick. If you push the left analog stick up or sideways to the right, it's going to have a big circle. And you can select a bunch of troops, in that circle. Okay, now let's say you didn't get every troop you wanted to have selected. Well, you can add more to that, and there's two different ways. One way you can do that is by going to the troop you didn't select and holding down L1 and then pressing X to add that to the group. And let's say this one right here, we didn't select this one right here, so we're going to hold down L1. We're going to press X, and we're going to hold down L1 here and press X. Now, alternatively, if you do not want a few of these troops selected here in the group, you can take them off. All you do is hold down L1 right here. We'll press X. That one's not in. We're going to hold down L1 again. We're going to press X. That one's not in. We're going to hold down L1 again, press X. That one's not in. Okay? So that is one variation of that. Another variation of holding down X is this right here. Again, we're holding down X. We're going to take the left analog stick and we're going to move it either to the left or down. And this time it will select a very small group of soldiers like we did right there. Okay, so there's two different ways you can select a bunch of troops. Here, one way is to hold down X and then push it up. You select a bunch. Now, if you push it to the right, you'll do the same, but if you push it down, it only selects a few troops. So, something to keep in mind right there. So that was one way to select troops quickly. Another way involves use of the control pad. If you look at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to notice there's a 1, 2, and a 4. If we push the control pad to the right, it gives us number 1, all the troops in number 1 we control. If we push it again to the right, we get number 2. We push it to the right again, number 4. Push it to the right again, number 1, 2, and 4, right? If we push it to the left, it gives us number 2. And we push it again to the left, it gives us number 1. And we just press X to get out of that, right? So there's 3 different ways we can command the troops. So let's say we want to command all the troops in number 2. Okay, we want them to go here. We'll press the triangle button, and that's an attack move. So what that means is they'll go there and they will attack. Now, if you want them to go there and not stop, if they're taking fire and stuff, you've got to push the circle command button, which makes them go there, and they'll keep going there even if they're taking fire. Okay? Simple enough. Now, here is the really cool trick that I learned here. Okay, so you got 1, 2, and 4, right? Well, what if you'd like to have your own separate group? Remember earlier? Well, there's a couple things you can do. One of the things you can do is, let's say you have 1 right here. Okay, you've got 1 selected. You'd like to add a troop or 2 to that 1. All you do is go up and select the troop you want to add and take the right analog stick and press it down. It's called R3. Now that guy becomes a member of 1. Let's do it again. We want this guy right here. Anti-tank rocket soldier. We're going to press R3 down, and he becomes part of 1. Let's say we want the supply truck as part of that group. We're going to press down R3 again. That becomes part of 1. So now we've changed the composition of the group. So 4 is only these 2 items. 2 is these items minus the guys that are, this would be 1 right here. And then 2 would be minus those soldiers. So we move, let's say we move 2 over there. Well, guess what? Those 2 troops that we selected as number 1, they're part of number 1. All right? So that's kind of cool, right? Well, there's another really cool feature that you can do here. We're going to move all these troops in here and move this guy in over here. And this cool feature is really neat. Let's say you want to control all the troops at once, right? Okay, there's a way to do that. If you remember earlier, we held down X to select every troop within the circle. We either push up or to the right. Okay, we're going to do that again. And we've selected all these troops here. Well, let's go ahead and select this one, this one, this one, and we're going to select the other ones up top here too. Okay, so we're going to press X on each one of these. We press X on each one of these, okay? Now we've selected all the troops that we have, right? Okay, well, big deal, right? All we need to do, of course, is press down R3, and they're all consolidated into one group. So all you need to do, of course, let's say we press X right here, is press the control pad to the right or the left, and we'll select and control all of the troops. Pretty cool, huh? And then all you do, of course, is press the triangle button to go and attack, or if you want to command them to go somewhere, you press the circle button. So that's a pretty cool feature. Something that a lot of us may not realize, but hopefully this will help you out here. All right, now we've got all our troops under one command. We'll just push the right control pad or the control pad left, and we've got them all selected. We'd like to make them do something now, right? What we're going to do is hold down the R2 button, and you'll notice there's a bunch of options. And all we have to do is take the left analog stick and flick it to one of these. So let's say we want all our tanks to fortify. Well, we're going to go down to the bottom right there where it says fortify. We're going to let go. And all of our tanks will fortify. All right. Let's say we want to do another action. Let's hold down R2 again. Let's say we would like to make our troops less visible by using smoke. If you look to the right, there's a thing called smoke discharge. We're going to take the left analog stick, push it to the right where it says smoke discharge, and let go of both controls. We get a smoke discharge. Let's say we want to do it again. Same thing. So do the same thing over again. And, next thing, we got a bunch of smoke, and it's really hard to see where our units are. And you can keep doing that on and on. You get the point, okay? Now let's say, for example, we want to take all our troops right here, and we want them to get out of the tank. Maybe not the best idea, but let's say we wanted to do that. We can do that too. If you'll notice on the left side, there's this thing called unload all. We're going to push the left analog stick to where it says unload all. We're going to let go of both controllers, and all of our tanks are unoccupied now. And we can command our troops to go all over here. And actually all of our vehicles are unloaded, because that includes the supply vehicles and stuff like that. So we basically abandoned all of our tanks, all of our troops, and everything. Not something you want to do, but that's an option, of course, that you can take into consideration. This final example right here works for trenches and houses as well. I'm going to use it on trenches just to show the effect here. We've got 3 different trenches right here. We can go to any one of these trenches and, of course, hit X to select it. We're going to hit X on this one right here.
Распоряжение.
Okay, we've selected that trench. What we'd like to do is move these troops. What we're going to do is hold down the R2 button, and a bunch of different options will come up. We are going to select the option on the bottom by holding down the left analog stick right like that to exit to location. We'll let go of both buttons, and this little green arrow comes up. All we need to do is hit X, and our troops will go there. Now let's say, for example, we want to put the troops back in a trench. All we do, of course, is either hit the circle or the attack move button, and our troops will go into that trench. Okay, so that is one way to do it. Another way to do it is, if you'll notice on the top left-hand corner of the screen, all of our troops are in a home. If we hit the control pad right or left, we automatically select all our troops. What we'd like to do in this case is get them all out of the trench. How do we do that? We hold down the R2 button, and then we take the left analog stick, hold it down to where it says exit to a location. We let go of both buttons, and again the arrow with the circle comes up. We hit X, and all of our troops go to the middle. And yeah, that's some examples of how you would select troops quickly. And of course, that is going to wrap this up. I am signing out. I would like to thank you for watching and of course wish you good luck.